Friday, February 6th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. Let's talk about what's going on in our weather here across the eastern United States, specifically the Carolinas. When that camera shot pops back in, that'll be the Beach Mountain Parkway cam, courtesy of resortcams.com. Still some snow on the ground from the recent snow. The current temperature and the observation up there, 20 degrees atop Beach Mountain. Look at that dew point, 9 below zero. A very dry, cold Arctic type of air mass in place here across the Carolinas. These are temperatures in a regional perspective, and I'll detail the temperatures here in just a second, but everybody's pretty chilly, and then it's really cold over the northeastern part of the country. These are actual air temperatures, 11 below in Burlington, Vermont, Bangor, Maine, 1 below, Boston at 5, New York City there. That is the Central Park observation there at 12. And when you factor the wind into the equation, it's 2 for a wind chill in New York, 12 below zero for a wind chill in Boston. In fact, most of New York State was sub-zero wind chill values this morning. Pittsburgh, 3 below. So it's really cold over much of the eastern part of the country. Here are our Carolina temperatures this morning. 30 degrees in Columbia. I've seen Reidsville as cold as 11 thus far this morning in the Virginia border areas. 18 in Charlotte. 19 in Greenville. I believe Winston-Salem, as I'm cutting this video, is at 14. And obviously these temperatures are much colder than where we were during the 5 o'clock hour yesterday morning. So this colder air is in place. We had some falling temperatures yesterday afternoon, and then temperatures dropped like a rock as we went through the evening hours yesterday. Had a pretty breezy day at times yesterday. Not the case today. High pressure building overhead. Very quiet conditions. There's the radar imagery. No precip anywhere close by, and we're not alone. It's very quiet over much of the eastern part of the country. Now you look upstream here, these are some primarily high clouds moving our way, and we will see some of those high clouds overhead this afternoon here across the Carolinas. You can see that here on your surface map. There's some of those high clouds rippling overhead late today. Temperatures still on the chilly side. It'll be 40s for highs out there most of North Carolina this afternoon, some 50s over in South Carolina. And then tomorrow, that high pressure continues to edge a little bit farther to the south. We get into the southwesterly flow in earnest around that high pressure, and that is going to result in some 50s pretty much region-wide in North Carolina, some 60s there in South Carolina, even maybe 60 in Fayetteville, and then even warmer for Sunday. That southwesterly flow firmly established, and look at these Sunday highs looking very, very nice. It'll be a fantastic afternoon, Sunday afternoon, to spend some time outside. Enjoy it, because there continue to be a lot of indications of a cold pattern overall coming, which I'll show you more on here in just a moment. Let's talk about our next storm system then. And again, I'll show you more detailed model graphs on this here in just a second too. But now this is the European solution, bringing an area of low pressure and a trailing cold front through here Monday. Not a very impressive precipitation event on the European model, quarter inch or less, and the GFS is even more underwhelmed with this system. There's the GFS rain totals for Monday, nothing overly significant at all. And again, here's the idea here for next week. We certainly start off with some mild conditions over the weekend, but then with time we see a pretty good shot of some chillier air move in by Thursday. And then by Friday on the weekend, it might be a true Arctic blast that arrives. Before I get into the detailed modeling, there's your ski resort information. A fantastic weekend for skiing if you want to head up that way. Basically every trail available to you at the North Carolina ski resort areas, and groomed and powder conditions to enjoy. Alright, so first of all, let's talk about the Monday system. This is what it looks like at 500 millibars on the European model. And there's the 500 millibar chart off the GFS rather. So again, European GFS, fairly similar. So you wind up with a scenario that looks like this on the European model. Some generally light rain moving through on Monday. The Canadian model, there's Monday midday, and then the precip through Monday afternoon into Monday evening looks like that. The Canadian rather is a little bit more aggressive with the rain. Here's what the GFS looks like. This is valid early afternoon Monday. Mountains with some rain showers kicking over to a little bit of light snow. And again, just a little bit of rain across the Carolinas Monday on the GFS does not look very impressive at all. All right, so that's the Monday system. Let's go out toward the end of the week. All right, so here's the European model. This is valid Thursday evening. There's another one of those cutoff lows back toward the desert southwest. Big trough in the eastern part of the country. The GFS, similar with the overall idea, cutoff low in the southwest, but a little bit sharper with the trough diving into the eastern parts of the country. And so, again, let's take a look at what the European looks like. This is valid Friday morning. That's a pretty good shot of cold air settling into the region. On the GFS model, let me go to this chart here. This is valid Friday morning, and as that cold air moves in, it even tries to produce a little bit of light snow around the coast. I would not bank on that, but just showing you the cold air moving in. And then look at this. This is valid Sunday morning of next weekend, the 15th. That is brutal. And here are the actual low temperatures being predicted for Sunday morning of next week. Now, this is just one run of the operational model. This will undoubtedly change, but I just wanted to show you the idea that's out there of a pretty good shot of cold air next weekend. And I know those numbers may be tough to see, but that's another deal where the I-40 corridor dips down into the single digits, some sub-zero mountain temperatures. Now, the European model is not nearly as cold. But again, the idea here is I would recommend enjoying this weekend in the mild temperatures because next weekend is looking much chillier overall. All right, that is it for today's edition of the video. Everybody have a wonderful day, and God bless.